Hello，大家好。
係，
咁我喺度都要介紹一下今日呢個好
嗯
特別嘅 session 啊。We will be addressing our audience in Cantonese first。咁啊，因為阿 Eve 同埋 Stephen 咧就之前都提過認識咗一位老師喺日本嗰度
嗯，
帶咗你哋一個好神奇嘅旅程啦。咁今日好榮幸啦，可以邀請到老師本人同我哋一齊見下大家啦。咁啊，首先阿 Eve 可
錯。
能介紹一下老師先啦。
好，咁啊，老師嘅名稱咁啊，佢係叫Kiyoko 係啦
Kiyoko 先生。
，Kiyokawa Kubo 係啦，Kiyoko 先生。咁啊，好開心嘅，因為幾年前喺2019咧，我喺一個conference 係啦，認識咗老師啦。咁啊，今年我哋就去再 reconnect 啦。咁啱咧，我同阿思文今次就有個 calling 感召係啦，阿 Lee 都可以講下係啲乜嘢嘅。咁啊就要去 Kyoto，咁啊去 Kyoto 咧，即係京都啦。咁啊老師又咁啱嗰幾日咧，佢有時間咧，就帶咗我哋去一啲好特別嘅地方。咁當然去完之後啦，我翻到香港，我都感覺咧內在有一啲嘅改變嘅。咁啊，同埋日本咧本身咧係好多好多好神聖嘅地方，所以今日邀請咗 Kiyoko 先生啦，咁啊同我哋分享嘅有關於日本嘅一啲對於神聖嘅文化啦，點解日本有啲地方會咁特別啦？咁啊，同埋究竟我哋去呢啲地方嘅時間點解係咁重要咯？
Sensei, do you want to say hello to the Hong Kong audience?
Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. こんにちは。
こんにちは。
私の名前はKiyoko です。My name is Kiyoko. I'm very honored to, meet you all. So, I'm so excited. I really hope that we can meet you in person very soon.
老師就話好希望可以好快即係同大家面對面見面。其實呢個都係我哋即係未來目標嘅之一啦。真係可以去跟隨老師去下啲 sacred tour 啦，咁就真係可以面對面見到老師啦。咁我哋今日當然就要講講關於一個 sacred 嘅旅程，即係假設我哋之前講過去旅行嘅時候，好想有啲目標性，可能去唔同嘅地方，同唔同嘅地方打招呼。咁當然一開始就要講講我哋同土地之間嘅，或者同地球之間嘅關係啦，係咪應該咁樣開始啊？
係啊，OK 啊，好就咁開始啦。
好啊，好啊，我哋就嚟啦喎。Oh, the first question that I have is about, Hong Kong people love traveling very, very much. And usually, we're very close to Japan too. We're very close to Japanese culture, especially pop culture and fashion and food and all that. So basically, Hong Kong people are quite an expert in traveling in Japan. But lately, we're always talking about what about we transform our traveling experience into a real journey, spiritual journey, then we can go to different places and be activated. So the first part, we would like to talk about our relationship with the different part of the world. 咁我頭先就問啦，我話我哋香港人好叻去旅行啦，其實係好多都係日本嘅專家添，即係譬如我老豆都係一個去日本嘅專家啦。我基本上掂晒所有縣㗎啦，即係如果整個地圖出嚟，咁然後就都想講講關於即係人同土地、人同地球唔同地方嘅關係，因為如果我哋去旅行唔單單係純粹係學玩樂，而係有少少 purpose 嘅話，咁會係點咧？So Sensei, do you want to talk about the relationship between us and the earth and different places?
Yes. First of all, I would like to address that. I love traveling. Like ever since I was born, I really love traveling. But there's something that I always want to tell everyone that when you travel to somewhere, you think that okay, I'm gonna Google these locations. I'm gonna book my flight. I'm gonna book my hotels. Okay, let's go. I paid my trips, so now we go. The traveling doesn't start that way because I always look for the permission from the land that I go to. So I don't go to places that I just choose. I always go to the places that they call me. It's not about they doesn't mean humans. They always mean their land. When the land is calling me, that means the land is giving me the permission to enter the land. So that is most important. Maybe because you need to translate, I should stop.
Okay. Don't worry about that。咁啊，老師就話佢都好中意去旅行咧，出世就好中意去旅行啦。但係對我哋嚟講，去旅行就係買機票、book 酒店、揀地方咁樣。但係為佢嚟講，佢就唔係佢揀嘅地方。咁佢永遠都等待嗰個就係個土地嘅 permission，即係個批准。但係嗰個所謂批准，其實就係第一，我哋有冇feel 到對方即係個地方會邀請我哋過去咧？咁所以呢一個就係一個感召啦。我覺得呢一樣嘢即係近年我哋比較講得多啲。你做職業有 calling 啦，地方都有 calling 嘅。係多咗。
Because for me, it's because I see everything as energy. So, this is not something I learned from anyone. I'm born with it. I see the land, people, buildings, even like the mug cups you're holding, everything. I read the energies. I see everything as an energy. So that my word is a combination between like our Sixth Sense and then there Harry Potter's and then the Matrix. So when you really read the energies, you can feel that when you are welcomed, and then also you can feel that when you are not welcomed. When you're at schools, when you meet someone who doesn't like you, you can feel the vibrations. It's the same. The relationship with the land is the same. You really have to feel that if you're really welcome to the land, or that maybe you saw someone's posting traveling that spot and then you saw, oh, it's cool, it's good for my Instagrams, and then let's go. It doesn't work that way. It's because when you travel to somewhere that when you are not ready to the land, usually it won't be a fun experience.
老師就話，即係喺佢個世界，所有嘢都係 everything is energy 啦，所有嘢都係 energy 嘅。即係佢話頭先我哋拎住我哋隻杯咧，都係我哋嘅 energy 啦。咁佢個世界就係好似即係有 matrix 啦，睇到 matrix 啦，有 Harry Potter 嗰啲 V 運嘢啦，同埋有第六感 sixth sense 嘅。咁但係如果我哋去感受，就好似你返學，你都知邊個同學中意你唔中意你，其實你 feel 到嗰個頻率嘅不一樣。咁如果你去旅行，你只不過係話呢度 Instagram 打卡好好，所以你去，咁就好多時出事啊。咁我都可能諗我哋去旅行順利，都基本上係因為我哋唔係 look for 呢啲 experience。即係老師就話，如果你咁樣去旅行，好難，即係唔一定會有一個好 fun experience，即係唔一定係最好嘅體驗。因為如果個地方冇邀請你，但係你夾硬去，未必 work 咯。But I would also like to know, if we're just layman, but we start feeling the energy and start comprehend about what energy is, how do we feel if we are welcome or invited by the land? 我哋點樣先知如果我哋普通人？
啱啊，呢個好重要。
Yes, yeah. When you are welcomed, like you really feel like you know this place, and then even though you've never been to the locations, you feel like like a nostalgic memories. Something triggers you, because all those attracted to locations is usually the places that you have been in your past life.
咁老師就話啦，呢個都幾好。佢話如果你即係咩叫講 feel 咧，就係你會覺得有種好似你好熟悉嗰度地方嘅感覺，你未去過嘅，但係你覺得你可能好習慣咯，即係可能你知咯，去到就係肉體未去過，但係個感覺係都知嘅咁。Oh, this is a very good way to tell what is called what is meant by we have been invited by the land. 好啦，咁啊兩位你哋可以都要問下問題。
Can I just share something about how I received the invitation from Japan?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I get a feeling, people would develop, I wouldn't say it's an obsession, but all of a sudden you have this interest to dig deeper about a location that you have never been to before, or you have visited before, but right now the feeling has changed. You really want to study about it. You research everything online. That is, for example, is me with Mount Fuji-san. So I've never been there properly. I went there when I was 7. And then this time when I went there, it is completely different. I have this feeling I need to study about it. I need to understand everything that around it. So, you know, when you have this obsession all of a sudden, you know, that's also a sign that land might be calling you. 係，即係啱啱我所講嘅就係、是，有時個地方 call 你咧，你突然間會唔知點解想發現研究所有一切 around 嗰個地方嘅嘢，咁嗰個都係一個 sign 嚟嘅，即係突然間你對嗰個地方好有興趣，嗰個都係有機會係一個 calling 嚟嘅。
For me is Yakushima， 因為屋久島咧，it's very weird that I have been there for 3 to 4 times. I think this is not even for local Japanese 嚇，係因為連本地日本人咧都未必會去呢個地方啦。第一，亦都未必會去咁多次啦。但我唔知點解無啦啦已經係即係因為工作關係開始咗之後就。不停覺得要翻去，不停覺得要翻去。其實而家開翻關之後，我都覺得要翻去嘅。So I'm talking about for Yakushima. Now that we can travel again, it's always on my mind. So I always want to go back to. Even I have been there for a few times already. So this is not really like traveling. It is like going back. 咁有呢種感覺，好似翻去咁樣。
So now,
sorry to interrupt you there. Going back is the perfect phrase that you use because your soul is returning to your own soul, your home. So the going to Yakushima for you is like your soul knows that, okay, this is the kind of frequencies that where I come from. So that every time you go back, your soul is really happy, you know, that you can feel the vibration. Your soul is really returning to where you're supposed to be. Because when you are born, you really forget where you're from. That's why we are all searching for our home. And then so you find a way, you know, it's like a journey to back to your soul.
老師就話going back 即係翻去，我哋好興講翻鄉下咁樣啦。即係佢話呢一個 term 係一個幾好嘅形容詞，因為我哋會係個靈魂話俾你聽，你同呢個有一個相同嘅頻率，即係所以你覺得翻到去就係有種好愉悅嘅感覺。咁我都好同意啊。I feel like I'm very open when I arrive at Yakushima. Just land on the pier, you know, you can take a boat or the inland flight. When you land on it, you feel like, oh, I'm so happy I'm back. So this is the feeling. 咁Yakushima 即係屋久島就俾到我呢種一落機就 yeah 咁樣，即係 even the weather is very unstable there。佢嗰度啲天氣好古怪，佢好天嘅時候好好天，但係成個日都係橫風橫雨嘅，即係佢係一個迷你嘅 ecosystem 嚟嘅個天氣。咁但係翻到去就係啊，我又用翻去，翻到去就好開心咁樣咯。
同埋老師啱啱有講過一個好重要嘅 point 咧，其實我哋係去緊 returning to home， 因為佢又啱啱講，當我哋嚟到個地球嘅時間咧，我哋冇咗個記憶，其實我哋喺邊度嚟嘅？所以當有啲地方咧召喚我哋翻去，係啦嘅時間，當我哋翻，我哋其實一路喺度尋覓緊啲乜咧？其實我係尋覓緊 home 嗰個感覺啊！即係 home 家嘅真正嘅家，靈魂嘅家嘅感覺。所以當我哋翻到有啲地方，好似麻利咁翻到屋久島，啱啱老師就係講咧，就係其實佢係翻到去佢靈魂嘅家咯。我哋記翻起靈魂嗰個家嘅真正嘅感覺，會有安心啦，會好和諧啦，會好似你隸屬於嗰度咁。I was explaining to them about, you know, returning to home, but the home of the soul, not the home, you know, of the physical. So now I want to ask a question about kami. About, you know, God. 神啦，係啦。Because in Japanese culture, there is a lot of references to kami. You know, kami of the mountain, kami of the river, kami of fire, of the natural elements. So, and Japanese, you know, a reference to all things are being sacred. Can you explain a little bit more about this concept? And why is it important?
I think you know, our culture is very similar to like native Indians in the US, or like maybe old Mayan cultures, or like you know, native Hawaiian cultures. You know, we all believe there are spirits in every single thing that you see. You know, every trees, every flowers, you know, everything has the spirit in it. So we supposed to respect each others. That's why when it's like a Shinto shrine, you know, the shrine that we call Jinja. Jinja is somewhere we believe that there is a god in it. So there are many Japanese go to pray at the Shinto shrines. You know, Shinto shrines everywhere in Japan. You know, the one near your house is their main Shinto shrines that people always go to praise. You know, whenever you know you have something in your mind, you go there to have a peace of your mind. And then there, it's also like we say that in Shinto shrines, there is something inside, but the building is closed. So you can only pray from outside. You cannot see what's inside. But the inside, there is supposed to be a mirror. And this mirror supposed to be a holy mirror. And then when you stand in front of that mirror, the mirror will show you who you really are. Maybe you are very well known, people respect you, and many people think highly of you, but maybe you are not true to yourself. You have been lying to yourself. The mirror will also show you, you know, is this really who you are? Like the mirror shows you what people sees you, you know. So it's like, it's really reminder to, you know, always to remind ourselves to be true to ourselves, and then to be honest to ourselves. You know, don't care about other people, but it's most important if you are true to yourself.
So does that mean every shrine we can find a mirror in the middle of it?
They supposed to, but after the foreign cultures enter to Japan, many of the Shinto shrines got ruined. And then some people carry, because their households or master of the Shinto shrines, you know, maintain the Shinto shrines, but the Holy Spirit may not longer be there.
OK, understand。老師就係話佢哋好似一啲譬如原住民嘅文化啦、瑪雅嘅文化啦，或者即係夏威夷原住民啦、北美嘅原住民，我覺得基本上我哋好多，你當薩滿嗰啲學習啦，好多所有嘢萬物都有靈喺裏邊，即係 spirit 喺 everything。咁所以對日本人嚟講都係神就存在於響所有嘅東西度，樹又有啦，花又有啦。咁點解要咁講？係因為你會懷住一個尊敬嘅心去對待呢一啲嘅萬物。咁佢就話其實響日本都好多神社，周圍都有。咁你會見到鳥居，又見到神社咁樣啦。咁頭先就問到就係話，老師話其實 suppose 神社入面有一個地方有塊鏡，咁你入到去你就會見到自己嘅reflection，你個反應，即係你係咪真實的你，定係你係人哋以為你嗰個你？咁無論你係乜嘢人企喺嗰度前面，你都要認識嗰個真實嘅自己，要好誠實咁樣認識真實嘅自己啦。咁但係我就問係咪個個都有咧？咁當然就係因為經歷個時代嘅變遷啦，有啲神社可能本身已經好似 Eve 上次咁講都冇嗰個 spirit 啊，即係唔係再係喺裏邊，即係或者佢已經只係變咗一個建築物啦，咁啊未必入邊係即係有個神喺度坐鎮咁樣樣咯。咁呢個不過日本真係好多神社周圍都有。
係，咁老師仲有講咗另一個 point 咧，嗰個鏡咧其實個 mirror 咧其實係喺道門閂咗嘅，係啦，喺神社入邊時咧我哋冇辦法我哋冇辦法見到嘅。但係當我哋去 pray 嘅時間，我哋去請求一啲嘢嘅時間，祈求一啲嘢嘅時間，其實咧裡面塊鏡個主要功用就係反映緊我哋呢個當下，我哋就算我哋有冇 be true。係啊，即係我哋係咪好誠實咁樣面對愛自己啊？定係好多時因為外在嘅干擾，好多時我哋會妥協啦，或者將自己內在嘅一啲我哋相信嘅聲音啊、價值啊、信念，我哋會扭曲咗。係啊，所以老師再次提醒嘅就係好多時咧，其實我哋要記得對我哋自己誠實啦，亦都要對我哋自己忠實咯。係。
其實我又想問啦，咁為老師嚟講，邊一啲地方有going back 嘅感覺咧？ Sensei, I would like to know where do you feel like you're going home? What are the
Good
locations?
questions. There are several places, but there especially is I was born in a small island called the Hirado Island in Nagasaki. That's the far west of Japan. And then that's really also a sacred island. And then also that was like only open trade for overseas when entire Japan was closed long time ago. So we have many cultures from their overseas, but I don't have any family history coming from Hokkaido, but somehow I am so attracted to Hokkaido. I've been to many locations in Hokkaido, and Hokkaido is very famous for those locals, the natives called the Ainu. Ainu really carries like Ainu, and then also Jomon culture. The Jomon is one of the oldest Japanese natives from long time ago. And then they really respect to the natures. They really believe in the spirit in everywhere. So there are many holy places by Ainus and then Jomons in Hokkaido, and especially their place called the Lake Toya. Lake Toya is like a couple hours from Chitose, main Sapporo airport, and you can go by trains, and then you can also rent a car from airport. You can travel down there, but the Lake Toya is something that I always feel home. And then I found that land is calling me while I was traveling back and forth every month from Osaka to Hokkaido from the airplane. I've been seeing the Lake Toya from the airplanes, and I could really feel their land was calling me, but I didn't know which location it was. I couldn't tell from the airplane. But I found out my business partners was going there regularly soon after. And then I asked her to take me down there. And then since then, this is becoming like my second home. And it's similar to what you will feel with Yakushima.
頭先我就問老師，即係邊度對佢嚟講個地方係有返鄉下嘅感覺啦。咁老師自己就 Nagasaki 係長期嗰邊一個個島嗰度出世嘅。咁跟住，但係佢就話頭先提到咧比較多篇幅咧，就係Eve 一陣補充啦。Lake Toya 即係洞爺湖啊，喺北海道嗰邊啊。咁我上網睇啲相又係超級靚。咁但係因為頭先老師提到有一個叫做 Jomon culture。Sensei, do you mean the Jomon culture is the Jomon Sugi on Yakushima because they have a very, very old tree, like 6,000 or 7,000 years old, and then the tree was from the Jomon age?
Yes. The Jomon culture is from Jomon age, so from long time ago.
呢個係成文啊，即係成係一條麻繩個成，文係文章個文，成文嘅文化就係即係日本有好多個朝代啦，你當咁其中一個非常非常古老嘅朝代。咁我就話屋久島有棵樹喺個島嘅正中心，就係冇人估到佢幾多歲啦，因為佢真係太老，即係講緊係話由成文年代已經喺嗰度。咁嗰棵樹到而家都喺度嘅。咁我就係嗰陣時去咗幾次，我都係為咗要行入去。見一見嗰棵樹啦，咁嗰棵樹叫成文杉，就係 Jomon Sugi。咁但係老師講嘅，佢話有嘅地方嘅 calling，其中一個就係因為佢有好濃厚嘅 Jomon culture，就係成文嘅文化，都係講緊遠古啦，好遠古嘅日本都唔係我哋聽過嘅名字嘅日本。咁就係呢 terms。咁所以即係如果你有 feel，一路聽一路有 feel，你就做多啲 research，好似係 Eve 咁講咯。即係你有興趣，就應該轉入去睇睇啦。咁Eve去補充一下。
同埋乜老師有講咧，即係我好多嘅時間咧，而家去Hokkaido即係北海道，係啊，佢基本上已經北海道所有嘅地方都去過。因為老師係成日都會喺整個日本咧去唔同嘅地方去做教學嘅。跟住老師嘅教學啦，其中佢會舉辦㗎啦，就係一個叫 universal gatherings、universal meetings 係啊，即係宇宙嘅聚會。咁啊有啲人咧，佢每次嘅教學都會因應嗰日佢收到嘅信息啦，去協助大家去記得翻究竟宇宙嘅法則係一樣咩一回事咯。咁啊其中講到點解佢係咁去呢一個北海道咧？啱啱北海道阿Maria 有講嗰個成文嗰個 culture 咧，佢哋仲係好識得去尊重個大地啊！即係好多古老嘅法則，依然咧其實喺北海道都有保存嘅。咁啊，但係 Victoria 咧，上次老師都有同我講過洞爺湖啦，佢有話嗰度都係好重 Lemuria 列穆利亞。咁我都會想一陣都問下老師，究竟列穆利亞個能量係啲乜嘢啦？如果大家有聽過我哋節目都知道其實古文明有埃及 Egypt。有 Atlantis 亞特蘭提斯，亦都有列穆利亞 Lemuria 嘅。咁而家佢記得翻 Lemuria 嘅能量點解咁緊要咧？咁晏啲我都會問老師嘅。好 now that we talked about Victoria, and then because you have spoken about Victoria has this very strong energy of Lemuria also, then I would like to ask you about why the Lemuria energy is so prominent in Japan?
Well, I think it's really, lying in our mind and our spirit. People say, in Japan many people believe in dragons, and then there are many Japanese say their land of Japan is you can actually, when you look at the map, it's like a dragons, and then people say that Hokkaido is the head of dragons. And then Okinawa is the tail of dragons. And then the Lake Toya is supposed to is where all the dragons are born. And then they travel from Lake Toya to all over Japan. That's what people believe. Actually, that's what I think Ainu believed. Because the Ainu, like Native Americans, they do many prayings, before they cook, before they eat anything, before they make the fires. They believe that every god comes in it, so they always pray and chant. And then that culture is really in us. It's like before we eat, we Japanese always put the hands like this, say, and then this itadakimasu means that thank you for giving me your life, because we are getting life from something else. So we have to respect that. And then when their life, other life enter your body systems, we need to respect it. And then whatever come out from us, from our mouths, our actions, our thinking, really should respect to other people. That vibrations, if we really respect and love others, that if we really carries that vibration on this earth, we can finish any fightings and wars. And then there are that spirits in Lemurian cultures, and then that really, we really have to remind that we came from that. We did not come from where we supposed to, steal from someone and then manipulate someone, brainwash someone to, so that you can steal from them. It's not that we supposed to really self-contained and then loving and caring. And then that is why that it is important to go to the sacred locations, because when you feel their vibration, then when you're in that land, there, years and years, people chant and praying. When you really enter the land, you start to remember, your cells start to open up, your soul also open up.
Wow,
that is most important.
咁頭先啱啱老師有提到啦，就係佢話將放大成個日本去睇嘅時候咧，其實係一個龍嘅能量嚟嘅。咁所以上次老師有提過洞爺湖嘅時候， 我都覺得即係呢個名可能大家都聽過啦，香港人。咁但係唔知就係我哋今日即係 sharing 嘅時候，就你會 feel 到嗰個 calling。咁所以我自己都好期望可以去洞爺湖。咁佢就係講緊係個洞爺湖嗰個地方就係好多龍誕生嘅地方。咁 Okinawa 即係沖繩就係個龍尾嘅地方。咁另外老師提我一樣嘢，我頭先都突然間好感動，就係話我哋嗰日節目有提過，即係點樣擺筷子啊，即係日本人點樣講 Itadakimasu，其實係一個。我哋係收到一個宇宙俾我哋一個祝福，土地俾我哋嘅祝福，所以我哋去有一個態度去對食物嘅時間，我哋有一種敬畏同埋一個尊重喺度。
咁啱啱老師都有講嘅就係咧，當我哋食咗啲嘢啦，係啦，咁啊其實 life 進入咗我哋嘅身體啦，即係生命進入咗我哋嘅身體啦。其實我哋要對嗰份生命嘅能量帶住個尊重嘅，所以老師成日都會教嘅身口意要合一。咁佢啱啱有講嘅就係由我哋嘅口出翻嚟嘅嘢，由我哋身體出翻嚟嘅能量，甚至我哋嘅行為，其實咧都係應該帶住嗰種敬畏，對生命嘅敬畏，嗰個尊重以及愛啦，即係 respect and love 啦，係啊，去將呢一啲能量去散播出去咯。咁啊，啱啱老師亦都有講嘅就係，假如每一個人都帶住呢一個 vibration，of love and respect， 係啦，尊重同埋愛咧，世界上所有嘅戰爭其實都會終結咯。All wars on the planet would end because everybody holds this vibration。所以老師一提點我哋就係當我哋帶住尊重嘅心嘅時間，其實係好重要嘅。當我哋所有嘢都可以自給自足，而唔係我要喺我好匱乏，我要喺人哋度攞嘢嘅，或者我要操控人哋去 manipulate 去攞一啲嘢。當我哋可以記得翻，其實我哋本身入邊咧都有源源不絕嘅生命能量，我哋可以自給自足咧。其實我哋就會有翻愛同我哋帶住愛同尊重咧，其實個世界就會變得好美好。呢個亦都係 Lemuria。係啊，其中一個列穆利亞，其中一個好重要嘅教學嚟嘅。咁所以我哋而家係人類啦，翻去嗰種我哋叫 purity 嘅 consciousness， 我哋係翻去嗰個狀態咯。咁所以老師最後都講就係啦，當我哋去到啲 sacred location， 係啦，一啲 sacred sites，其實當我哋感受到嗰個地方俾我哋嘅能量嘅時間，因為咧嗰啲地方咧係可能過千年都有人喺嗰度做 praying 啊，做 chanting 啊。其實當我哋 feel 到嗰個能量嘅時間咧，我哋啲細胞啦，同埋我哋嘅靈魂啦，其實咧我哋靈魂會打開，令到我哋會記得翻啦。我哋啲細胞嘅記憶咧，亦都會打開嘅。咁所以老師啱啱嘅分享就係咁樣樣。我聽到其實我好感動嘅，係啊，即係原來我
咩啊？你想講咩啊？
我話你有冇諗起咧？頭先老師一路今次同我哋嘅 sharing 就係講我好宮崎駿啊，即係千與千尋啊，白龍啊。
我就想講啊。The moment that Stephen starts speaking, he is talking about the animation and all those stories from Japan manga and the animation world. And then I was about to raise the point that Princess Mononoke 即係幽靈公主係入邊有好多呢啲嘅，即係好多嘅教育響我哋睇嘅即係動漫嘅世界入邊嘅。咁所以頭先就係 Princess Mononoke 幽靈公主就係睇嘅時候就係佢講緊，喂，你對所有嘢都要好 respect， 因為山有神明，樹木係啦，有野豬有咁樣啦。其實 where I live now, I can see the boar pig every night, so I always remember those in the Princess Mononoke 喺個 movie 入邊都成日都見得到嗰個巨大野豬神噶嘛，但係野豬神係俾人類去攻擊啊、驅趕啊，覺得佢唔應該喺呢度啊，咁所以變壞咗啊嘛，咁所以係咯，即係所有嘢就係萬物都有靈響裏邊，所以係我哋要去尊重。咁但係老師都講到，即係頭先本來條問題問緊關於列穆利亞 Lemurian energy 啊嘛，因為本身呢個 energy 就係話俾我哋聽，我哋係共用嘅。咁而去一啲 sacred location 嘅重要性就係點解話我哋個 activation 係咩？就係個 cells open up 咯，即係你嘅細胞會 remember， 你記得事情，你嘅 DNA 可能記得一啲嘢，咁所以呢件事係好重要嘅。
所以咧，點解我話你兩個其實真係要開一集，其實講卡通嘅，係啊，啲漫畫啊。先生，I'm talking to Maria and Stephen because they are so knowledgeable in Japanese manga and movies. Maria can pick a couple, with spiritual knowledge just to tell the audience. So I'm inviting them to an episode strictly on Japanese manga and animation with spiritual message.
Actually, the Mononoke is the perfect their cartoon, their like Japanese cartoon that you chose, because that really shows the way the Jomon era people living. So that was
Jomon.
actually the Jomon, like a real Jomons. Real Jomon has nothing to do with like ITs and then fashions and fashionables. It's really like because you're always living facing to the death. When you're really living in the natures, you're always same with their Yakushima Island. Yakushima Island is can be dangerous. People have to hike hours to meet this Jomon Sugi, the cedars. But in order to do that, sometimes some people get stuck in their flat, and then some people can easily die from it. Same with Mount Fuji's. So if we don't respect to the natures, to their spirit and animals, you can die from it. So the Jomons was really like they were living in the communities. Each of them had the law. They really, the whole community was, how can I say, everyone had their own law. They had to follow. And then now, when you come to Japan, you maybe forget about this, because you go to Japan, most of Japan, you can see the convenience store open 24 hours, and then you can find any food. But when you really connect to your soul, and then you enter to those convenience stores, no food alive. They're dead food. It's like if you eat dead food in your body systems for years and years, what will happen? But if you really eat a fresh food, your cells start to become healthy again. So I want to remind some of your audience, if you think that eating is something that, just to fill your stomach and, wasting your times, you are completely wrong. I really want to change your attitude towards eating from today's, because this is very important. If you really want to have the higher frequencies, if you want to reach to your higher mind, eating is really part of your training. It's very important.
I start from the beginning, and then Eve can talk about the food part。頭先老師就係講咧，佢話 Princess Mononoke 就係幽靈公主，因為係啊，其實 Yakushima 就係佢取景嘅地方。咁佢話成套動漫即個卡通片，你就睇到入邊係成文嘅文化。咁入邊講咩咧？即係好多個唔同嘅山頭，唔同山頭入邊有佢唔同嘅法規法律啦。Even in Princess Mononoke, some community is handled and ruled by women, many women， 即係成個即係女兒國咁啊。咁所以佢入邊有好多嘢，可能對小朋友嚟睇其實又唔明，大人睇都未必明。但係如果你有一種熟悉感覺，即係你可以 return to 呢個 story 去睇睇關於 Jomon 嘅即係成文嘅文化啦。因為佢講緊成個幽靈公主嘅定調就係話，人一出世其實我哋面向死亡噶嘛，即係你住喺森林入邊，even 你去Yakushima 屋久島去登山咧，其實都可以好危險。我頭幾次去都係上唔到去，因為山泥傾瀉。即係個山要攞你嘅命幾咁易啫？你迷路咪得咯，你冇食物咪得咯，你冇水咪得咯咁所以就富士山又好啦，即係屋久島嘅山又好啦。總之我哋就係懷住一個即係好尊敬嘅心情，你知道其實呢個我覺得係謙卑咯。你就去探訪呢啲嘅地方，令到你去即係起碼知道我只係 地球嘅一份子咯咁。I'm telling them about the Yakushima hiking trip because it takes 10 hours at least to come and back from the Jomonsuki to see the tree 係啊，你要睇嗰個 cedar tree 嗰個幾千歲個棵，入去5個鐘，出去7個鐘 ，and the route is it makes you very sleepy because it's like repeating. You walk on the trail 一個係荒廢咗嘅火車軌啦，你係會行到咧失去咗意識㗎。So I lost my consciousness, I think, when I walk on the abandoned trail because it's like very hypnotizing， 即係好催眠，好催眠。咁然後下低係喘急嘅河流啦，咁你一叉錯腳就拜拜㗎啦，咁可以係咁。咁所以即係成個路程即係懷住喂好尊敬嘅心情，我真係想見你一面啫，即係呢個係我嘅 experience。咁後尾老師就講到關於食物啦。What about the food part? Eve will talk to us about
老師啱啱
what teacher has said。
係啦，老師啱啱有講一樣嘢就係咧，而家大家去到日本，哇，好方便！日本其實另一個好勁嘅地方就係所有嘢都好方便啊嘛。咁啊，我哋會見到一啲我哋叫 convenience store 啦，便利店啦，佢係24/7都一定會開。其實你一定有食物嘅，係啦。但係當你一定有食物嘅時間，咁發生乜事咧？咁啊，因為老師對食物個 vibration、食物嘅震動啊、食物嘅頻率咧，一直都非常之講究。佢去買餸咧，佢曾經同我講過，佢會入超級市場去 feel 啊，究竟啲食物仲有冇 life force 啊？係啊，仲有冇生命啊？跟住佢啱啱就講就係咧，喺呢一啲嘅便利店，咁好多製成品啦，啲食物係冇生命嘅。跟住啦，咁佢簡單嚟講就稱之嗰啲食物係死咗嘅。咁佢就話啦。大家可以諗下就係，當你將啲死咗嘅食物 dead food 係啊，你擺入你個身體，咁會發生乜事咧？尤其是當你進食一啲冇生命嘅食物，進食咗一年又一年，一年又一年，其實我哋個身體會發生乜事咧？簡單嚟講就係個身體就會死亡咯，因為佢冇生命力噶嘛，係啊。咁啊，當我哋食啲新鮮啊，有光啊，其實好健康嘅食物啊，其實我哋啲細胞會變得好健康咯。所以老師想提點嘅就係咧。我哋食嘢其實唔係就係為咗食飽嘅，係啦。咁啊，同埋我哋由今日開始咧，要好重嘅就係我哋點樣對待飲食，我哋個態度，佢唔係嚟淨係填飽個肚咯。當我哋真係想提升我哋身體嘅頻率，當我哋真係想開發我哋內在一個更加高嘅意識，其實咧食物嘅 vibration、食物嘅震動其實係非常之重要咯。所以啱啱老師講呢一 part 其實都好重要，因為日本咧有好多加工製成品嘅，但係日本咧亦都有好多好新鮮嘅食物，即係大家好趨之若鶩，無論士多啤梨啊、蘋果啊、跟住提子啊，係啦，其實日本好多好新鮮嘅嘢嘅，咁所以老師就係想講話啊，如果大家下次去日本啊，咁如果係嘅，不妨去進食多啲新鮮嘅食物。當我哋記住新鮮嘅食物嘅感覺，我哋翻到香港咧，翻到我哋嘅居住地咧，我哋自然就會揾一啲可以協助我哋身體提升頻率嘅食物咯。
我諗好緊要一樣嘢咧，
係Stephen，
你講先。
我覺得好緊要一樣嘢，因為頭先老師用個喺食物上面所講嘅字眼係一個 training， 係一個訓練嚟嘅。
啊 ，yes，
係啦，我覺得呢一個值得大家去 deb 一 deb 意思，點解食嘢會係一個訓練咧？係啦，因為我自己即係 turn around 喺呢幾個月去咗日本2次啦，咁我真係感受到個食物嗰個即係生命嘅能量嘅時候咧，翻嚟香港我發覺對一啲即係雪藏咗嘅嘢咧，我身體都已經開始 reject。I'm just sharing with the audience that once I came back from Kiyoko, Osaka, with the food you show us there, and then my body is kind of like rejecting all those frozen food in the freezer.
I would like to ask Sensei about the animals in Japan, because even Stephen told me that they have seen a lot. And then when I travel to Japan, we can see the cat island, and we can see the deer in the forest, and even the raccoon is always the icon around the shrine. So I would like to know about your view on why is Japan we can always see lovely animals everywhere, and then they live peacefully on the island. Nobody take care of them, but they're just good to be there.
This is also back to like Ainus and Germans, because they are when you go to there's a places in Hokkaido now that you can go to this special locations that you can learn about the Ainu culture. And then the Ainu culture, they believe that all animals, like a native Indians, all animals carries the God spirit. Sometimes they can be messengers for God. So when you enter the Holy Land, often the animal will welcome you. That means you're welcomed by the Holy Spirit that, to that land. So I went to Mino Mountain and then Mount Clammer with Eve and Stevens, and at the Mino Mountains, we saw wild monkeys. That was also against that they were really welcomed, because that morning I asked the permission to the mountain and their goddess remain in the mountains, that is it okay that I invite Eve and Stephen to the mountain? And then they were really welcomed. And then I saw the animals. And then all animals, they really know how to live and blend it in the natures. They respect natures. That's why they can live without the human support. Actually, the human support is not actually support. They are disturbing animals. And then in Japan, nowadays, many people stop getting the pets from their shops because how they breed is not natural. So like in my community near the Mino Mountains, many people have dogs, but they are sheltered dogs. And then the animals, I think the role of animals is also the reminders, we can be loving things because they're so lovely. They always love you no matter what. So by being with animal, they remind you, you can be the same. You just forgot. Be nice and be kind to their people and then the animals and natures around you. And then they're always talking to you, by the way. You can communicate with them telepathic way. They're always talking to you. The birds always come to say morning to me, when I'm feeling down, when I go to the balconies from my rooms, the birds always start to say, hey, chirp, chirp, chirp. They start to say, good morning, hellos, because always the sun is shining. We are always in the nature. So if you don't feel that, the animals will remind you to really get back to the natures.
我頭先就係一開始問老師咧，我日本咧好多動物嘅，即係譬如神社又有狸貓啦，跟住又有稻荷神社又有 kitsune 啦，即係好多狐狸啦。跟住貓啊，直頭有貓嘅島啦，咁日本又有好多狗啦，跟住山入邊又有 shika， 即係又有鹿啦，鹿係好常見嘅，唔使去到奈良，即係你行山都會見到鹿，即係你會知道你好唔干擾啊，但係自然佢哋先可以住到噶嘛，咁又係隻馬騮都好多嘅，咁所以就係問緊，即係 Eve 同 Steven 去旅行嘅時候都遇到，即係一出門口可能都有隻動物響樹行下咁樣出現，咁老師就係講緊即係人同動物之間嘅關係，係佢係神嘅使者啦 ，messenger 啦，即係可能有信息要俾我哋啦。咁當然動物本身就係有好多，佢都有靈性喺當中咯。我哋成日講個 Mino Mountain 咧，就係佢係筲箕灣個基好得意，基面市咁係咪咁樣理解啊？
係啊。我可以 show 張相嘅，你阿嫲你可以繼續講，我又可以 show 張相俾大家。
Stephen is showing us the photo of the Mino Mountain. Oh, there's a rainbow.
This is the Mino.
Sensei, we always think that the air in Japan is so clear. That's why we take photos. We take a lot in Japan. We take a lot of the skies, the trees, and even the road and the taxi. We take photo of everything in Japan because the air is so clear, so that it makes you feel like you're a real photographer. 去到日本係咁咩咯，影一啲空氣好清新、好乾淨咁樣。A huge difference here。
啱啱老師有講關於動物，我加多少少啦。佢話咧，其實你見到動物咧，佢唔需要人嘅支援，即係動物喺野外生存咧好好嘅，佢有佢哋自己一套生存模式，佢哋同個 nature，the animals are one with nature， 係啊。老師都有講過就係咧，其實佢哋唔需要人類嘅 support 嘅，係啊。Animals don't need the support of humans。human support 其實咧，我哋人類嘅參與咧，其實係有時係我哋叫影響。干擾咗其實嗰種自然，佢動物同大自然嘅韻律嘅，咁所以咧而家日本咧好多人都唔會再喺寵物店去購買動物㗎啦。其中一個好主要原因係根本嗰個唔係一個天然嘅方式嚟嘅。咁所以咧喺佢住嗰個區域啦，即係佢住喺 Osaka，咁佢哋附近有好多pet owners 㗎啦。佢哋大部分都係喺個 shelter，即係動物收容所裡面咧去領養啲動物嘅。咁老師亦都話啦 ，law of animals， 即係其實究竟喺個宇宙嘅法則入邊。喺究竟動物究竟係嚟到呢一度，其實協助我哋啲乜嘢嘅咧？就係其實係 remind 緊我哋啦，佢哋係充滿住愛噶嘛，即係狗仔、貓仔，其實佢哋全部都帶住好多嘅愛嘅，佢哋係好多 love。佢哋提醒緊我哋，其實都要好似佢哋咁樣樣，每一刻都可以做到成為愛，同埋帶住個善良咯。同埋咧，啱啱老師亦都有講就係，所有嘅動物咧，其實長期都同我哋講緊嘢嘅。咁啊，有時佢喺屋企嘅時間，咁啊佢嗰日可能心情有少少低落嘅時間啦，佢企喺個露台咧，跟住啲雀仔就會飛埋嚟同佢同佢 say good morning 啊，係啦，咁啊，所以我哋其實咧可以透過我哋嘅感應，其實同動物溝通嘅。咁當然啦，佢 say 完 good morning，我哋都可以 say 翻 thank you 啦。So we were just translating to them, about the animals, because that's also a big part of Japanese culture. And I think a lot of I think humanity is now at a point they forgot about how to be with animals, how to be with other species. And that's a very important reminder, because in Lemuria, we live with animals, coexist with animals. They are our friends, they are our family. 係啱啱我就同老師講話，佢帶出呢一樣嘢其實好重要，原因係喺列穆利亞，其實個文化咧就係啲動物同我哋一齊住嘅，佢哋係我哋嘅屋企人分子咯，所以善待佢哋，其實亦都係善待緊自己嘅屋企人咯。
好，我哋今日時間係咪都差唔多？
差唔多啊，係啊。I think we asked all the questions that we need to ask. Before we part, do you have any thing that you want to share with Hong Kong audience, or any reminders that you want to give to the Hong Kong audience?
Oh, yes. I know the last 3 years have been very difficult for all of us. And then sometimes maybe some of you might be feeling that, I don't belong here. I want to escape somewhere. I want to move to somewhere else. I used to feel the same. When I was younger, I used to live overseas, and I really felt like, I don't belong here. But wherever I went, I really enjoyed only in the beginnings. And then I found everywhere were the same. Because what you see in your universe is affecting your life. So no matter how good other location look greener, it's not gonna be the greener than where you are now. Where you are born, where you are raised, there meaning for it. Your soul chose that country, the areas, because you wanted to learn something from that culture. But what you can do is that visiting other locations, learn the beauty from other cultures, and then you can combine that with your own cultures. Because whatever happens in your daily life has no meaning. Really, no meaning. You are making the reason for it, but there is no meaning. So just remember that to stay tuned in the neutral mode. And then your reaction has the meaning to your life. What happened to your life has no meaning, but what you react is That is most important. So if you're not happy, if you want to change your life, if you want to be more happy, that means stay tuned into your frequency. What kind of frequency you're giving out to outer world. And then if you cannot remember how good you can be, those are time, come and visit us in Japan. And we will remind you how beautiful you are.
哇！呢一個係 I think this is the reason why Hong Kong people we're just escaping from where we are, and then we always pick Japan as the first place that we would like to visit. 頭先老師都好大嘅 reminder， 因為 Eve 就問最後有咩同我哋嘅觀眾講下啦。咁佢話知道即係過去嗰3年全部人都唔好過㗎啦。咁但係我覺得講呢一個 part 都幾得意嘅，因為可能過去嗰3年唔好過，你就覺得I don't belong here， 我唔屬於呢個地方，我淨係想逃走。咁我哋眼見到好多人係逃走，各種方法逃走啦。咁但係老師就話佢以前都係咁樣㗎，即係覺得唔 belong to呢個地方，於是就周圍走世界各地周圍去住咁樣啦。咁但係由於你去經歷嘅東西只會係反映你自己嘅內在啊嘛，咁所以每一次佢去到新嘅地方，開頭係 from the beginning 嘅時候 honeymoon， 即係一開始嘅時候一定係蜜月期。咁當然之後就係佢就會發現咦唔係喎，都唔係呢個方法喎咁所以佢要提醒我哋點解我哋個靈魂會揀喺呢度出生呢度成長，係因為呢個土地會俾到我哋需要嘅學習，呢個文化有我哋要學嘅嘢。如果我哋要去第二啲地方，我哋可以學習人哋嘅美麗，但我哋可以 combine with， 我哋可以結合翻我哋本身來自邊度，咁我哋先至有所成長嘅。咁啊 Eve 可以繼續講埋之後嗰個。
講咗好重要嘅一個 point 係，多謝麥你啱啱一個部分係好緊要嘅，即係我哋好想逃離我哋嘅現況，但係逃離嗰個態度，就去同下一 part 好有關啦。因為老師有講咧，其實生命所一切發生嘅嘢係冇意義㗎。咁啊，所以好多時我哋應該保持一個中立心。個意義喺邊度出現咧？就係當我哋點樣去回應外在發生嘅嘢。究竟呢件事發生咗，我係一個哇，我好開心嘅態度去回應啦，定係我覺得呢件事好衰。我哋嘅回應其實就賦予咗件事究竟個意義喺邊度。咁所以老師話如果你唔開心嘅呢一刻，你想去改變你嘅而家個生活個狀況啦，咁其實好重要嘅就係咧，我哋要 in tune 翻，即係我哋要感應翻我哋呢一刻個頻率狀態，究竟我哋自己散發緊一個乜嘢嘅頻率俾呢個世界，個世界個宇宙就會然後透過我哋散發嘅頻率去回應我哋咯。咁佢話啦，當有時即係好多嘢發生嘅時間，我哋冇辦法記得。佢話咁，如果大家有緣去到日本，日本就會提醒翻我哋美麗係啲乜嘢啦，人嘅美麗啦，動物嘅美麗啦，自然嘅美麗啦。所以都好 welcome 大家之後有機會去日本，就係去記得翻其實世界本應有嘅美麗，然後將嗰份美麗帶翻香港。所以
好感動啊！
Thank you. Thank you.
We really love Japan.
Yes, because you're Holy Spirit. You have their source energy in you. If you invite the God in your house, you will respect. You give them a good food. You give the best to them. Same to you. You're the Holy Spirit, and your bodies carries the Holy Spirit. So start respecting yourself and respecting your bodies. What you eat is most important, and what you think, what you speak, how you act will reflect on your life.
我呢個好緊要。老師話，即係如果你邀請個神明去你屋企嘅時候，你都會俾最好嘅嘢佢食啊，係咪？即係會招待得佢好，因為你尊重佢嘛，你緊張佢。但係其實我哋每個人都係我哋本人都有內在神性，我哋都係 Holy Spirit 啊。咁所以點解即係你冇理由對自己係代薄自己啊嘛？所以你食啲乜嘢係最重要嘅事情，因為呢個就係你都會招待自己 as 一個 Holy Spirit 啊嘛。即係正如你會咁樣對一個你尊敬嘅貴賓，你都應該咁樣去對自己。呢件事真係好重要。
同埋我哋點樣
仲有嘅
食嘢，我哋點樣諗嘢，我哋每一個行為其實都係反映緊我哋嘅。咁啊，所以當我哋記得我哋好似神明嘅時間，咁我諗下嗰一個神明其實無論係耶穌，無論係觀音，無論係佛祖，佢哋點樣會去進食，佢哋點樣會去諗，佢哋點樣會行動，係啊。咁啊，我哋可以記住呢一個部分啦。所以今日咧，多謝老師嘅信息 ，thank you，Kiyoko先生。
Thank you，
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Wish to see you in person soon.
Yes, yes. You know, I'm happy to show you around all the holy places in Japan.
哇，好開心，好興奮啊！好興奮啊！
好期待啊！咁啊，希望我哋真係好快可以同老師見面啦，或者都好快讓大家都有機會可以同老師見面就好啦。今日多謝晒大家，我自己3日辛苦晒，
ありがとうございます。
好，下次再見，See you next time。
See you.